Time to Talk podcast, breaking news on the latest in the crazy allegations with Diddy, but now a new person named in a lawsuit, in a suit that was originally filed back in October against Diddy from a 13-year-old known as Jane Doe, accusing him of rape. Now adds Shawn Carter, a.k.a. Jay-Z, a.k.a. Hove, to the suit. And this alleges that the two of them raped this young girl, 13 years old at the time, at a after party. MTV Music Awards, like an after party. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. Time to Talk podcast. I had to get on and do a quick live and talk about what the news just came across, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Plenty have speculated on this previously. There were all sorts of, with the Diddy news every other day, it seems. People were always saying, all these industry people are going down. All these big celebs are going down. And people have, an axe to grind with certain celebs. And a lot of them looked at Jay-Z as like, the creme de la creme when it comes to, hey, somebody's got to go down. He's not innocent. He's probably in some way involved as well. So now it seems as that might actually be the case. Let's get into this. Let's just read what's breaking here. Jay-Z, the star rapper and entrepreneur, whose real name is Shawn Carter, was accused in a lawsuit Sunday of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000, allegedly along with Sean Diddy Combs. The anonymous accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, said the assault happened after she was driven to an MTV Video Music Awards after party. The federal lawsuit was originally filed in October in the Southern District of New York, listing Combs as a defendant. It was refiled Sunday to include Carter. That's today, December 8th, 2024. Texas-based attorney Tony Busby, who filed the suit, did not comment. Now, here's a statement from Jay-Z, from Shawn Carter. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? Carter said in a statement to NBC News. These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. Busby has filed several lawsuits in recent months. All have withheld their complainants' names, accusing Combs of assault and rape. This is the first suit in which he has named another high-profile defendant. Now, if you remember, Busby had always stated that there were going to be other names and people, to come. Like, people would be dropped. There would be all these names. It was going to be shocking. So this is the first one, right? So Combs' representatives did not immediately respond to the request for comment. Combs is repeatedly denied. Yeah, we know he's denied, but whatever, he's full. Let's go into it. There's more about from Carter, from Shawn Carter's statement. I want to go through this. Before Sunday's lawsuit was refiled, Carter received a letter from plaintiff's counsel requesting a mediation to resolve this matter. Busby wrote in the suit. NBC News has seen that letter. In response to the letter, Busby wrote in the suit, Carter filed his own lawsuit against the accuser's attorneys. Carter addressed that letter in his statement, which reads as follows. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer, quote unquote, named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very, capital letters, very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny, the statement read. The lawsuit claims that, so that statement from Shawn Carter is just like, wow, he's just like saying, all right, you know what? Let's get it on. In true Jay-Z format, straight up Brooklyn, Hove, Marcy projects. It is straight up also billionaire, right? Untouchable billionaire guy. He's reached that stratosphere of the untouchables, it seems. He's coming at Tony Busby with this whole, like, you're a fraud. This is nonsense. You've got nothing on me. Go ahead and bring it. Which is tough talk if you really think about it, right? Let's get back into this. Let's go into the actual suit and what this young woman is alleging. The lawsuit claims that in 2000, when Doe was 13, Combs and Carter raped her at a house party after the MTV Music Awards in New York. The lawsuit says a friend dropped her off at the VMAs at Radio City Music Hall. She did not have a ticket, and she approached various limousine drivers to try to gain access to the show or an after party. One driver, the lawsuit says, told her that he worked for Combs and that she quote unquote, fit what Diddy was looking for. He invited her to a party after the show and told her to return to his car later in the evening after he transported Carter and Combs, the suit says. Now, this limo driver should be brought up on charges as well. Later, the driver picked her up, the suit says, and after 20 minutes, they arrived at a White House with a U-shaped driveway, the suit says. She had to sign a document she believed was a non-disclosure agreement on arrival and did not receive a copy to enter the party, which the suit says was filled with celebrities and people doing marijuana and cocaine. She was offered a drink that made her feel woozy, lightheaded, and felt like she needed to lie down, the suit says, and she went into a room to rest. Shortly afterward, the suit says, Combs and Carter entered the room with Combs saying, quote unquote, "You are ready to party." That's when she alleges Carter removed her clothes, held her down, and raped her while Combs and an unnamed female celebrity watched. She says Combs also raped her as Carter and the woman looked on. Holy shit. Wow, man, this is just... And who's that female celebrity? Who is that? Now, I find it interesting, for whatever reason, that the female celebrity wasn't named. If you're naming the rape and you're saying that Shawn Carter and Shawn Combs raped you and there's a female celebrity watching, right, in the actual... While this was happening, why was she not named in the suit or added to the suit as well? Or is Busby, for whatever strategic reason, from a legal perspective, waiting to name that particular celebrity? That name has got to be out there. There's no way she filed this suit and Busby representing her doesn't know what that name is, who that person is. So for whatever reason, I'm waiting for that shoe to drop. We'll see what happens. But let's continue with this. That immediately just has me saying, whoa, who is this? The suit says that she was able to resist being forced to perform ORAL on Combs by hitting him in the neck and that he stopped. After the alleged assault, the suit says she grabbed her clothes and left. She made her way to a gas station where she called her father. The accuser is seeking unspecified damages. The lawsuit is filed under the New York Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act. Quote, "My only heartbreak is for my family," Carter said in the statement. "My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence." Wow. Shawn is going in there. I mean, so he's not even concerned. So what I find interesting, what stands out there in Jay-Z's statement is the fact that he is completely against the victim, right? So even, let's just say he had nothing to do with it, right? Which, that's fine. He's standing up and defending himself and his own character and his own integrity as far as what he says happened. And he's saying, this is nonsense. I had nothing to do with this. If that's the case, he could still recognize the fact, considering what's going on with Diddy. And again, to reiterate every single time I do one of these videos, we all saw the Cassie thing. We know the character and the reputation of Sean Diddy Combs at this particular point. I'm sure Shawn Carter, Jay-Z, is aware as well, right? So it would make sense that he had some sense of, some sort of sympathy, or he felt the need to say, look, whatever happened to this young lady, I'm praying that justice is uncovered and she receives the justice that she is due, or something along those lines, as opposed to just saying like, F her, I'm worried about my kids and my family, which is pretty much what he's saying. He doesn't even care. When he mentions that last line about innocence, he's talking about his kids. He's not even talking about the young lady. He's not saying, hey, look, whatever happened with anyone else, he doesn't have to say anything about Sean Diddy Combs. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't have to name any names. But he could at least say, look, if something happened to this young lady, and then we need to work to figure that out and uncover whatever that is. And I hope justice prevails. And I hope every victim and every person that's been hurt or injured by these type of people, I hope that justice prevails and that they actually get the, I don't know how you can even say, the compensation deserved. Because again, you can't financially compensate some of these victims. These people have their lives destroyed, and these people being minors, yeah, this is absolutely horrendous. But I think that Shawn is going about it, Jay-Z is going about this the wrong way. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you're reading that the way I'm reading it. I just think that's very insensitive. I think it's exceptionally arrogant, And it says a lot about his character when it comes to all this. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm not saying he is or isn't. I don't know. He was named, and he certainly hung out in that lifestyle. He certainly had access to it. So, I don't know. But again, the other telling part of this is the female celebrity that was there while this went down. And I'm waiting to see when that's going to drop, when that name is going to come out. Was it Beyonce? Right? Could it be Beyonce? Was it some other just random celebrity there? Was it, this was in, what was this? This was 2000? Let's go back. I believe it was 2000, right? After the, 2000, when she was 13 years old. So was this back when J-Lo was around with Diddy? I'm trying to think. Anyway, I got to get the date straight, but I am curious about who that actual celebrity female is and, whatever. Anyway, we will keep this go. Obviously, this is going to be big news on Monday. So Time to Talk podcast Monday, December 9th, we will get into more as those updates come available. And as I get the actual document, the actual lawsuit, the amended lawsuit that includes Shawn Carter, aka Jay-Z, and we will update you. And I'll go through it and kind of give more of my take on this. Again, my two concerns right now are the way Jay is responding to this and who that other celebrity is. Who that female celebrity is. Time to Talk podcast. Subscribe to stay updated. People who've already subscribed, I truly appreciate you. And I think I'm looking at my comments. I almost forgot that I'm live. People bear with me. I'm getting new to the whole live thing. And I see somebody, Sabrina, I think he's guilty. I think Jay was coaching Beyonce on what age to say in the interviews when they started dating. I think he told her to lie about. I think that's true too. Because she was young, right, when they started dating. Which is the thing that goes on in this industry, in the music business. You see these people. The whole thing with R. Kelly and Aaliyah being, how old was Aaliyah when they were getting together? And just back then it seemed to be an okay thing to do. How long did that last? Why did no one say anything about that back then? And with, the way Sabrina is pointing out, the fact that Jay and Beyonce, she was young when he was, Yeah, Sabrina, thanks for chiming in on that. Anyway, I'll look to do more lives on this and put some more content up, and we'll do some updates with you this coming week. We'll see what happens. We got some other stuff coming at you, more Diddy news and things happening there. If you haven't seen the video regarding Christian Combs, I'll put a link to that somewhere in the description. You can find that on my channel, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, Aaliyah was young. Now, mind you, it was going on before it was public. Exactly. And that's, see, Sabrina points out some good, but I got to have Sabrina on the show, point out some good points here, that this is before everything was really out in the open. And it's also pre-YouTube, pre-social media times. So those relationships back then, which again, Hollywood's notorious for major celebrity actors and singers having girlfriends that were 15 years old, 14 years old, 12-year-old girls. It was kind of like a thing. And it's only until the alleged, until the social media age and the exposure of all this stuff that it's become something part of our consciousness. So anyway, Time to Talk podcast. I will see you on the next one. Stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, like the video on the way out, like this live, whatever on the way out. If you haven't caught it, you'll see it in replay. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.